to the SSDP 2019 Awards Ceremony, Dance Party, Fun Times Extravaganza. We are going to kick off this evening with announcing introducing you to your new board of directors. So, I want to take a moment to give thanks to the people who have worked so hard for the last year to make sure that this organization is well governed. Never in the history of Students for Sensible Drug Policy has a board of directors taken that job so seriously, and never have they been so successful at nearly meeting their fundraising goal. It has been such an extraordinary joy to work with this group of humans and to have a group of folks who I can really count on to advise and direct this organization, to represent your voices as they do so, and to do just a wonderful job of making sure that the student voice is always represented at every point when we need to make one of those tough decisions. So big thanks to the members of the board who have been with us for the last year. At this time, I'm going to invite our current, only for another 14 hours, board chair to the stage, as well as all of the current members of the board of directors to join us. But first, our board chair, Ismail Ali.
I'm just going to ask the board members to come up right now because y'all are amazing. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on up. Hi, everyone.
Should we just gather in this little corner?
No, let's just get in line.
Yeah, block us.
Block them.
We can window.
I don't have too much to say. I just really want to start and end by expressing some gratitude. I have had the super duper distinct pleasure of working with these wonderful people. Do it. For 2 years now, and for a year in my role as chair. And I just have to say that over the course of these 2 years, I've been involved with SSDP for about 4 years, so there are a couple years before that where I was just involved in the ether, like many of us are here. And one of the things I've appreciated deeply about participating in this process with these amazing people and with you amazing people is the fact that no one here, and I really saw it today, I'm sure a lot of you saw it in the panels, but people here really aren't afraid of diving into some really serious, sticky nuance and to really dive into the complexity of the levels of the issues that we're actually trying to work with here on a personal level, on an interpersonal level, on a structural level, on a societal level, and beyond. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to serve, to participate in this process. Thank you to the alumni who are in here, to the staff who've done such a phenomenal, amazing, next level job at putting this conference together, at working throughout the year, at really kicking butt. Can we give them one more round of applause? I think they really deserve it. Really, really deserve it. And I have to really give a serious shout out to the board and especially to the executive committee this year, Amy and Zane. Can we give them a round of applause because they're so next level. Seriously, I could not have done it without these people. Literally could not, wouldn't have wanted to. It was such an honor to be able to work with this group of people, and I'm so grateful. And I also know, and this is something that I've learned recently, is that it actually kind of never ends. Some of our term will end tomorrow, but the actual process of engaging with these topics with each other is actually kind of eternal, which is a little bit scary and daunting, but it's also very heartening and exciting. So with that, I'm gonna read off the people who will be joining the board beginning tomorrow. And we have our results, and I just want to thank everyone for voting and for participating. I know that there's like a lot of emotionalness going on in the vicinity, and I just like, again, really want to appreciate every single person who actually ran, who put themselves forward to participate in the board process. I think it's like definitely an edge. And a lot of people I know were really nervous or really concerned, and I just want to like appreciate and applaud your courage. So we're gonna do one more round of applause for every single person who tried to participate, because y'all are really amazing. And I just have to say, I feel so good and clear right now about this board, this organization moving on and evolving in the way that it currently is. I'm so excited to watch this process happen. So with that, I'm going to list our 5 new board members. I'm going to list them out in alphabetical order, and then I will list out our 3 alternates. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the logistics thing, and we're all going to go over to that side for a photo. But once again, thank you so much. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Seriously, seriously. Okay, let's do this. So, 5 people, alphabetical order. The first person that will be joining the board, Clement Bofa Opong. Can we get let's just do a full round of applause every time. Shout out to Clement. Dominique Coronel. I'll call you all up in a second so you can kind of sit and just appreciate for a few minutes, and then we'll get everyone up front in a second. I want to mispronounce this. Erica Dura. Sorry. Grant Lowe. And Julia Hilbert. I'm also going to list out the 3 alternates, and I want us to give a full round of applause for every person, because if there's anything else I've learned is that like every single hand that can be on deck is eventually on deck, so I'm going to list them all out. We really are going to need them. So in order, again, these are the 3 alternates that would be joining if there's a person that leaves the board at some point, which sometimes happens. Again, in alphabetical order, Aiden Pillard. Bashoran Olufemi. Might have mispronounced that, I apologize. And Randy Davis. We have a lot of work to do. You might have noticed over the course of last night and today. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work going forward. I'm really excited to continue working with you all in conjunction in all the possible versions, in all the possible fractal experiences and kind of literal combinations of people and organizations and work that we're doing. So thank you so much again. With all the board members and newly elected candidates, also maybe join us right over there by the SSDP sign after this is over. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm really appreciative. I'm really grateful. Alternates can also come up, please. Yes, thank you so much. One more round of applause for everybody. Thank you so much.
Shark Award goes to the chapter that has accumulated the most CAT points over the past year. So I am pleased to announce that as of 4:45 p.m. today, the chapter with the most points in the chapter activities tracker with 6,575 points is Dublin City University.
All right, for the awards, just a quick note of order here. You'll want to, thank you. You'll want to applaud after each nominee is stated. So I'm going to ask that we do the 1-syllable clap instead of going through a whole round of applause after each nominee. So first we have the Rising Star Chapter Award. The Rising Star Chapter Award Thank you. The Rising Star Chapter Award recognizes the most outstanding chapter, which is in its first year in the SSDP network. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. Michigan State University. Great. James Madison University. Nominees, you may be seated. My first communication with the leader of this chapter was on 4/19/2018, Bicycle Day, though we didn't start working together until summer. After supporting their state's legalization of cannabis, they've been diving headfirst into expungement advocacy, giving a youth voice to cannabis regulations, have 8 chapter members started on the path to become SSDP Just Say No peer educators, and brought 9 members to conference who should all get up here to accept this award. Congratulations, Michigan State University.
So the next award goes to the Rising Star individual, and that recognizes the most outstanding individual in their first year in the SSDP network. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. And I mean, we can still do the single clap. Kat Ebert, Piotr Makio, Nicholas Steckley. The winner of this award is a leader of his local radical civic group, which he connected to SSDP last year, and they have made serious waves to reform the local penal code and engage remote communities that are usually really difficult to reach with authoritarian states. He has fought administrative wars to be able to cross borders and join our delegation in the UN this year. He presented on our side events, and he's engaged delegates. He is not able to take this award today, but the winner is Piotr Makio.
All right, everyone. So the next award we have is the Speaking Truth to Power Award. The Speaking Truth to Power Award is presented to a chapter who successfully got politicians or other decision makers on the record regarding their positions on drug policy. This year, 4 chapters from West Africa are nominated: SSDP Sierra Leone, SSDP Nigeria, SSDP Ghana, SSDP Gambia. Sorry, I know we're on a time crunch. I have to take a minute to once again acknowledge the fact that as you look around, you will notice that there are no people from Africa at our conference this year. As I have told many of you, and as you probably have been well aware, every single person, about 20 people who applied for a visa for SSDP 2019 from Africa were denied. Some of them had to travel to other countries to get an interview. Some of them were denied interviews in general. Most of them were not given any explanation as to why. I really encourage you guys to raise some fucking hell about this, because this is bullshit. Anyway, back to our awards. So each of our nominees have done extraordinary work getting public officials on the record this year. SSDP Sierra Leone had government officials condemn the war on drugs in the Philippines. SSDP Ghana invited Ministry of Health officials to discuss expanding access to treatment facilities. SSDP Nigeria recorded comments from Ministry of Health officials stating support for expanding access to pain medications. And SSDP Gambia invited public officials to speak at their Support Don't Punish event this year. So in recognition of all the outstanding work in all of these countries, we have decided to award the Speaking Truth to Power Award to the entire SSDP West Africa network.
Hello. The Morgan Lesko Online Activism Award goes to the SSDP chapter or member with the most outstanding online presence and is named after SSDP gift user Morgan Lesko. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. Dublin City University, North Dakota State University, SUNY New Paltz. This year's winner has done a masterful job utilizing Instagram and other social media platforms to drive their activism and networking over the past year. Whether it is gathering signatures for their campus, decriminalization referendum, or sharing life-saving harm reduction tips during party weekends, their creative online engagement has been crucial towards achieving this chapter's many voices. I'm pleased to present this year's Morgan Lesko Online Activism Award to Dublin City University.
The fundraising award was established in 2012 to recognize Nova Woodbridge's wildly successful fundraising efforts to fund their trip to SSDP 2012 in Denver. This award is for the chapter with the most successful and inspirational fundraising efforts. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. DePaul University, University of California, Santa Cruz, SSDP Nigeria, University of Texas, Austin, University of Georgia. Nominees, you may be seated. This chapter has consistently kept fundraising as part of their advocacy with cute, fun ideas such as the classic pot brownie, cosmic brownies sold out of a pasta pot. But this year, they take the award for their hilarious and creative War on Drugs themed Cards Against Humanity add-on deck, Cards Against the War on Drugs. I hope they're making more so you can all buy them and have fun while supporting this year's fundraising award winner, University of California, Santa Cruz.
The Stuart Abelson Goodwill Award honors an SSDP donor who has gone above and beyond to support our mission. This year's nominees are Forefront Mission, Green Lion Partners, Brian Kingsley, THC Staffing Group, and Valerie Viterbi. Okay, nominees can be seated. This year's winner first joined the Sensible Society in 2016 as an anonymous donor, but has become a vocal cannabis activist, joining the steering committee for cannabis reform in Minnesota this year. In a state with minimal safe access and a lot of work still to be done, we're glad to have him there, ensuring a seat at the table for local SSDPers. He's also one of the few investors holding the cannabis industry to a higher standard on packaging waste. He couldn't be here with us tonight, but I'm so happy to present the Stuart Abelson Goodwill Award to Brian Kingsley.
Okay, hi. The Dave Borden Friend of SSDP Award goes to an organization or individual who's gone above and beyond to help strengthen the SSDP network. The award is named after Dave Borden, who 17 years ago became the first friend of SSDP when he gave us a desk in the DRCnet offices and provided critical advice and guidance to our founding members. This year's nominees are Fire, James Anthony, Neeson Co., Dance Safe, and Dee Dee Goldsmith. No one stood up, so okay, good. This year's winner has been at the forefront of peer-based harm reduction and education now for decades, and has served as a welcome partner to our efforts to amend the RAVE Act and ensure young people have access to science-based information about drugs and drug policy. They share our vision for the end of the war on drugs and have engaged hundreds of our members in training, provided them countless opportunities to connect with and educate their peers off campus. For this and more, I'm honored to present the Dave Borden Friend of SSDP Award to Dance Safe.
Next up, we have the Scott and Cyan Bannister Campus Change Award. This award honors a chapter that has demonstrated remarkably successful efforts to change campus policy. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. SUNY New Paltz, University College Cork, DePaul University, Dublin City University. Nominees, you may be seated. In 2010, this chapter began a campaign to change their campus's two-strike expulsion policy for cannabis offenses. Since 2012, they shifted the campaign to align with campus marijuana policy with the school's alcohol policy, creating a petition, drafting legislation with Student Senate, working with the Student Association attorney. After years of back and forth fighting with the administration and transitioning through 6 chapter leaders, they finally found success this past fall. Congratulations on the nearly decade-long struggle, SUNY New Paltz.
The Grace Under Fire Award goes to a chapter who has handled a challenging situation with grace and poise. This year's winner nearly had its chapter status revoked for caring about the safety of their fellow students. They insisted that students had a right to access a safe space during a series of parties that are held every year on their campus. When word got out about the administration shutting down that safe space, students called in their administration, insisted on the importance of this space, and after 6 months, prevailed. Join me in congratulating New College of Florida.
The Change Beyond Campus Award goes to a chapter who gets involved with reforming drug policies outside of their school in their local and state communities. Nominees, please stand and remain to be standing to be recognized. EPSD, Mexico. Justine Belain. SSDP, Israel. University of Pittsburgh. And Ferris State University. Nominees, you may be seated, and I'm bringing a guest on stage to present this award.
Thank you, Elise. My name is Nick Sattel, and I worked on the cannabis legalization campaign in Michigan, and we had a chapter that has gone above and beyond the line of duty in so many ways. They effectively turned their city, they changed the political demographics of their cities essentially by just by a voter registration drive they'd had. They put Big Rapids back on the map in Michigan, and it is an absolute pleasure of mine to introduce the Change Beyond Campus Award to Ferris State University.
This award is presented to an SSDP alumnus who has done an extraordinary amount of work in service to drug policy reform. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. Scott Cecil. One clap, y'all, one clap. Kat Humphreys. Stand. Casey Cleanse. Nick Sattel. Garrett Rusher. My bad. And Oriana Mayorga. Nominees, you may be seated. This year's winner is an inspiration to many of us here. Since leaving the staff last year, he has lobbied the DC Council to pass safe injection facilities, joined the board of Catharsis at the Mall, co-founded the Rights Restoration Project, and created the Prohibited podcast, which you should absolutely check out. He is running for city council this session, where we're sure he'll work for sensible drug policy reform. Join me in congratulating Scott of House Cecil, first of his name, Lord of Mount Rainier.
That is, I believe, going to be our very first SSDP City Council member. As you all know, SSDP is really fueled by volunteer power that extends to our alumni in addition to our students. The A. Catherine Parker Outstanding Alumnus Award honors alumni who have made extraordinary contributions to SSDP in the last year. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. Katrina Hafner, Kat Humphreys, Casey Cleanse, Evan Neeson, Danielle Schumacher, Jesse Stout. All of these folks have made such extraordinary contributions. Yes, please go ahead and have a seat. But this year's winner has long invested time and talent to SSDP, having raised thousands of dollars in donations, developing conference sessions, including initiating the powerful and influential Lived Experiences Plenary, mentoring. All right, I'm the new Tyler. Lived Experiences Plenary, mentoring countless student members and serving as an important advisor to me and to many others. She is among the vanguard revolutionizing conference harm reduction for us and creating safe spaces here. For this and so much more, I am deeply honored to present this year's A. Catherine Parker Outstanding Alumnus in Service to SSDP Award to Kat Humphreys.
The annual DARE Award is presented to an outstanding student or chapter who has contributed significantly towards the DARE Committee's objectives aimed at diversity and inclusion. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. THC Staffing Group, Logan Ward, Samantha Weiler. Nominees, you may be seated. This student has poured his heart and soul into SSDP. They support fellow students at historically Black colleges and universities, and they put in countless hours of work to see the beginnings of SSDP's first Black Student Caucus, to collaboratively develop a racial equity toolkit, and to organize the POC dinner party this evening. I am so grateful for their dedication to SSDP's community. On behalf of the DARE Committee, I'd like to present this award to Logan Ward.
The Unsung Hero Award is pretty self-explanatory. It recognizes those who do extraordinary work that is less visible to our network. There are no nominees for this award this year, so I'm just going to go right into it. Since founding the Amend the Rave Act campaign in 2014, this person has consistently turned to SSD peers before anyone else when presented with opportunities to take action on an issue which directly impacts us and our peers. This year, she achieved a huge victory when the Department of Justice acknowledged there are no legal barriers to providing free water and fact-based drug education at music venues. I am pleased to present the first of this year's Unsung Hero Awards to Dee Dee Goldsmith.
This year, we are presenting 2 Unsung Hero Awards. The second recipients of this award hold roles for which there is a lot of unseen work. However, these folks have really gone above and beyond this year. They are where the buck stops for all things SSDP, which means that they're asked to navigate our most complicated, sensitive, and important problems. Because of the sensitive nature of most of those things, it's not possible to share the details of the complicated knots they've been tasked with untangling, so you'll just have to take our word for it. These people have brought an incredible level of intentionality, commitment, and grace to their work, and have absolutely gone above and beyond to serve this organization. I'm honored to present the second Unsung Hero Award to the Executive Committee of the Board of Directors, Ismail Ali, Amy Hildebrand, and Zane Bader.
Dedicate this one to all my fans.
The Outstanding Student Organizer Award goes to the SSDP member who has demonstrated the most exemplary organizing skills over the past year. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. Sophia Suter. One clap. Paniotis Severus. Basharan Olufemi. Declan Moore. Clement Bofa Opong. Jules Hodge. Nominees, you may be seated. This year's winner has been a chapter leader for several years, but saved some of his best work for his final year before graduation. His chapter has been among the most active and impactful in not only Ireland, but all of Europe. He has been the lead organizer of several key projects this year, notably a drug decriminalization referendum and the first ever Ireland annual general meeting. I am thrilled to recognize this year's Outstanding Student Organizer, Declan Moore.
So, the next award is the Outstanding Chapter Award. Nominees, please stand. SSDP Nigeria, University of Georgia, Dublin City University, University of Pittsburgh, University of College Cork, University of California, Santa Cruz, Ferris State University, Yale University, SSDP Austria, DePaul University, University of California, Santa Barbara, Arizona State University, and SUNY Albany. Nominees, you may be seated. Every year we do 2 awards of this, and the first recipient for this year's award helped organize a citywide march in support of marijuana decrim for their 420 event this past year. They worked alongside a wide array of local leaders to highlight the intersections between the war on drugs, criminal justice, environmentalism, poverty, and public health. They lobbied their city council members throughout the year to decriminalize marijuana in their county and worked alongside local artists to raise funds for various causes. So please join me in congratulating the University of Georgia.
All right, so every year we give out 2 Outstanding Chapter Awards, so all the same nominees apply. I'm not going to read them off again, though. Over this past year, this chapter has held over 60 events throughout their country, including seminars, leadership forums, webinars, workshops, and mini conferences. They have engaged tens of thousands of people online and have been invited to high-level meetings with public health officials where they've submitted their input on a number of issues ranging from access to pain medication to total drug decriminalization in their country. I am pleased to present this year's second Outstanding Chapter Award to SSDP Nigeria. The The Outstanding Student Activist Award goes to the SSDP member who has been the most exemplary individual activist over the past year. Nominees, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. Arifa Bokhari Kumara, Dom Coronel, Abreu Gavan, Arturo Gonzalez, Adiolo Adarende, Maya Tatum, Thomas Crumley. I couldn't finish my remarks for this, so I'm just going to kind of wing it. This person has been the most enthusiastic, passionate, dedicated SSDPer I have worked with over my 4 years on staff. He has inspired me tremendously with his bravery, traveling to rural areas in highly dangerous conditions to recruit people at SSDP. He has met with high-level ministry officials by waiting outside their offices for 12 hours just to get a meeting with them while they're leaving for their car. He has done all this in a country that stigmatizes drug policies so badly, he's received death threats in the mail to his home and his mother's house. If you meet this guy online, he couldn't be here today, please let him know that we all love and appreciate him. He loves and appreciates all of you. Arifa Bokhari Kumara.
One of my favorite times of year at SSDP is when we go into negotiations about who gets to win awards, because it is some of the most heated discussions we have on staff. We talk about all of the accomplishments that have been made by chapters and individuals, all of the extraordinary things that happen throughout the course of the year. We make our cases and we get territorial a little bit, frankly. It's happened, Elise did it. I heard that tone. But truly, the award of being able to have those conversations, to being able to support all of you, to see the work that you all are doing, that in and of itself is just such a fulfilling bit of work for all of us, to be able to support all of that. And everyone in this room tonight has contributed to making SSDP what it is in profound ways that we see and many more that we don't. So thank you to all of you for everything that you have done to create a safer world for the generations that will come behind you and for yourselves and for all of us. Thank you for fighting for justice, for fighting for safety, for fighting for education, for fighting for a smarter, more sensible approach to drug policy. Every single one of you is an award recipient in our hearts. Give yourselves a big round of applause.